as the train keeps moving. Al, you got anything exciting for us to talk about this week?
Yep. It's not confirmed just yet that Roman Reigns will be at SummerSlam / Sean Ross Sapp, but that is the current assumption. Is that you giving the ones, or you have something to say?
No, that's me giving the ones. I begrudgingly give the ones. I thought I was ready for Roman to fucking go. I was ready for him to disappear and fucking go hang out somewhere.
And then they gave us Solo, and you're like,
and then fucking Triple H happened.
I'm hoping we see Roman at SummerSlam because I'm gonna pop. That fucking head of the table music hits and he comes walking out. I'm gonna stand up and throw the ones up. No fucks given.
Dude, Triple H made him a fucking instant CM Punk return level reaction. And Roman didn't do shit. Roman just went home. He didn't do anything to turn babyface. Nothing. He just went home.
Because he did do nothing while he was there.
You know damn well you're as interested in this as I am. Don't act like you know.
He stood around and looked pretty.
Who, Roman?
He stood around and did this.
It fucking worked.
And it did. For the better part of 3 years, it fucking worked. 1,346 days it fucking worked, or whatever it ended up being.
Holy shit.
Hey, leave the cat alone. She's going to eat your soul.
Fightful reporting that MVP, Tamina, and Lashley are on the way out. Lashley's contract is up imminently. We haven't seen Tamina in like 3 years.
Did he just say that Lashley, MVP, and Tamina?
Yeah.
MVP's already gone.
But he's still technically on contract.
Yeah.
Is he?
His contract's expiring. All three of these contracts are expected up during the summer. Tamina is retiring, according to Mike. I hadn't seen that report yet. But I threw that on News and Rumors right before we went live because Sean Ross Sapp reported the Lashley news and then a few other sites.
I wondered where the fuck that came from. I was like, I don't remember.
And then a few other sites started reporting the Tamina and the MVP news. MVP tweeted out like a salute emoji and like the thank you stuff. Like, so everybody seems to think his contract is done. You know, like future endeavors for MVP and Bobby Lashley are going to be bright as fuck. Those guys are going to be booked over as shit. And what they need to do is link up as a tag team on the road and put an independent version of the Hurt Business together and go from town to town, fucking writing and cashing checks.
Well, MVP can't wrestle.
No, but he could be a manager for Bobby Lashley. And you tell me that Bobby Lashley and a Bougie and a PJ Savage, like you get a Hurt Business together in that New York territory right now, like he would have a stacked fucking Suge, fucking the Big Bad Kaiju, O'Shea Edwards. Like, come on, man. There's so much good stuff. Hurt Business on the independents was fucked.
And another good thing is being a free agent now or being released from WWE don't mean shit.
Sean was a free agent.
What's going on with WWE and TNA? If they sign with TNA,
come right back over and go to NXT.
Come right back over and go to NXT. I love this. I love this fucking partnership between TNA and NXT.
Let me ask you guys a question about this partnership then. Could we see WWE like farming and trading talent? Let's say Bobby Lashley, his contract expired, but he does go to TNA. What if WWE's letting these contracts expire so that way these guys can go sign at TNA, put powerhouses in their program, put butts in their seats as part of their deal and everything? Because then Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and everybody in Connecticut knows they still have access to these stars if they want them.
That makes smart business.
They give them first draw because when their stuff's up, they're like, "Hey, cool, you're going to let us have Lashley. We'll take Lashley. You know, by the way, Josh Alexander is coming up, or you know,
Jordan Grace.
It's big business, and this makes WWE just that much more dangerous."
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
That match with AJ in Japan was phenomenal.
Oh yes, it was, dude. all the matches over the weekend in Pro Wrestling Noah. If you didn't have a chance to go look at them, like take a chance and watch it. The N1 Victory Tournament's just starting. You've got people from NXT in the N1 Victory Tournament in Pro Wrestling Noah. You've got, like, it's nuts right now. Wrestling is all over the place.
And if you don't watch the other wrestling products, that still makes you a wrestling fan.
It doesn't make you a casual?
It's okay to be a casual wrestling fan. I'm a casual NFL fan. I only give a shit about the Tennessee Titans unless they're playing the Houston Texans. And then I give a shit, John.
The Nashville Texans?
The new Nashville Texans.
Whoa. Allison, we've been good.
Or no, what is it? No, Memphis wants their own team, so they'd be the Memphis Texans?
That's
a good point.
They already said they're wearing the Oilers uniforms against the Texans again. I'm like, I fucking bet. How great did that work last time? Fucking bet.
If the Houston Texans, if they sweep the Titans this year, you guys take the overall win-loss. One win, you tie it. If you sweep both games, you'll take a 1-win lead over the Titans overall since you guys came into an existence.
I mean, look, the Titans are terrible. We know this. Like, just let's have the little things.
I've been wearing a UT ball cap for 20 years, and they haven't won a national championship in 26. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
I was in 8th grade the last time they won championship.
Timeout. Really quick, Will, I got to say this. It is utter bullshit that – did you see that news yesterday?
Which news?
The UT thing.
Fuck that.
Oh, yeah, they called them Texas. They said UT and then TEX.
Yeah, fuck that. That is bullshit. You and I both know the real UT is University of Texas. Don't even front.
No longer.
Not in the Southeastern Conference, you Midwest and Southwest motherfucker.
This isn't a football podcast, but me and Allison will gladly open our doors for any ass whoopings y'all want to take down here in the fucking South. Right. Bitches.
Hey, the SEC East goes through Tennessee this year. That's the only time I'll say it, Bo. I'm sorry. I apologize.
The Bulldogs are going to shit the bed.
Oh, God. I didn't want to say it. I love you, Will, but I'm sorry. The Texans will sweep the Titans.
Oh, I'm sure.
Not a chance. Titans are going 16-0.
Titans are fucking terrible.
Mike, it was good working with you, buddy.
16.
LSU will beat all of them. AJ, I love you, brother, but not a chance, my dude.
Rachel,
I like LSD. Oh, LSU, sorry.
Rachel Ellering is officially a member of the All Elite Wrestling roster, says Fightful, and has been for quite some time. They just didn't make her a little graphic-y thing.
So she's been All Elite for a long time, hasn't she?
She's on Ring of Honor TV every week.
Yeah. It's still a shame her daddy's walking around in WWE and she can't even get an NXT contract.
That's true.
That's
Holy
a really
shit.
funny Frozen John.
That is a really funny Frozen John. If the Titans get more than 10 games this year, I will get a Titans tattoo. Somebody screenshot that.
Hold on, Will.
Wait, I got it.
You got it? Good. Everybody just hang out and wait for John. No, I'm just kidding.
Miko?
Miko Satomura.
Yep. Is featured in advertising for next week's Japanese show. Satomura hasn't wrestled for WWE since her March 2023 match against Roxanne Perez.
Who?
I don't know. Miko Satomura, I think is how you pronounce her name. That's cool. I don't know anything about her.
Bree, I would love to see the Lions win the Super Bowl just for the comedy. A true undercat story.
An undercat story. Clever. The final boss.
The final boss.
Oh, yeah, that's who she was. I remember now.
Natalia's WWE contract is for multiple years and was signed in late June before her current one expired. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
AEW Battle of the Belts 11?
XI?
Yeah.
11.
How is it 11?
Because this will be This will be the one right after their 10th special.
But there haven't been 10, 11. There haven't been 10 Battle of the Belt.
Yes, there has.
They've only been around 4 years. 5
Yeah,
years.
they do 2 or 3 a year.
That's stupid. Anyway, it's listed on TNT schedule for Saturday, July 27th, so next Saturday, at 10 p.m. Eastern after Collision.
So,
Wrestling Observer says it's expected the show will air live.
so are they going to book the entire 1 hour like in the next 2 shows plus
Apparently.
Rampage?
Apparently.
Okay. No one watches them.
According to PW Insider, Rhea Ripley likely won't wrestle until SummerSlam because she hasn't been fully cleared for it just yet. They also say initial plans call for her to return at the event or the Raw the night after, but she told WWE she believes she would be ready to wrestle on the show.
That's good. I hope so. Her and Punk both need to be on that show.
Yes.
For the cash-ins of both of those stories, we need to see Liv versus Rhea. You know what I mean? And we need to see Punk versus Drew. I think those Punk versus Drew is the first match leading to their blow-off. But I think Rhea versus Liv will be a good match for that title.
Yeah.
I think they could work good together.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Alvarez said that wrestlers coming into WWE get their names trademarked, but only for as long as they are with the company. Once they leave, they get everything handed over to them and they can use that name going forward. That's obviously a huge break from how things used to be run.
That's all well and good if they actually fork over the trademarks when they leave.
Yeah.
I've been in toxic relationships. I've promised things and knew I wasn't going to deliver. I've been promised things and they knew they weren't going to deliver. Like, that's what WWE is known for. They buy the trademarks, and then when they leave, if they give them the trademarks back, then I'll go, well, that's awesome.
If not, I mean,
they're still building to Punk and Seth at Mania. That's going to be fire.
Current betting odds for SummerSlam via Bet Online predict 3 title changes right now, with Gunther, Nia, and LA Knight all expected to win gold.
Gunther
God,
makes
I hope
sense.
so.
LA Knight makes sense. Who was the other one?
Nia.
no.
Oh, yeah. Nia is definitely beating Bayley. Do you think SummerSlam's the reset point? We just saw one in TNA. Every title that was held by a male talent changed hands last
I
night.
think so. It's time.
We saw NWA do one at NWA 75. Every title changed hands. Is this a
Yeah.
chance for WWE to do it where they start like doing a shakeup and getting new stories building? Because they used to say Mania for the following year started their stories at SummerSlam.
Yeah. SummerSlam's usually the catalyst to
An
get you
idea of what
Mania.
we're going to see at WrestleMania
Yeah.
6-8 months from now or whatever it is.
Lord Manning said Dom on a pole match. Yes, please. If we don't get a Rhea versus Liv
For the custody of Dom.
ladder match for the custody of Dominic Mysterio,
And then
They
at the
ruined
end
it.
of it, he has to do like he did in the original one, and he's got to push the thing because when he was a kid, he pushed the ladder over to keep Eddie from winning. Like he has to do that, and that's how he turns on Rhea. Is he runs up and he pushes the ladder over and knocks Rhea off the ladder like he did Eddie during the original match. Cash that check. Tell me that won't pop.
I like that.
No one saw NWA do it outside of 5 people, but we heard about it. That's because I was writing about it then.
per Fightful Select, Tyler Bate is expected to be out for the rest of the year. WWE quickly decided to turn Pete Dunne heel and have him feud with Sheamus.
That's Sheamus and Pete Dunne styles together are incredible. That's going to be a hard-hitting match.
You know what it's going to be? It's going to be like Gunther and Drew was at Clash or whatever when people were talking, or WrestleMania when people were talking about how fucking fantastic that was. It's going to be like that except for Pete Dunne and Sheamus now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's going to be the same style and quality of match.
It's going to be Pete Dunne and Sheamus is going to be Ilya and Gunther.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor is going to have more care put into it and attention given to it moving forward, says Fightful. There are apparently plans for dedicated taping sessions moving forward.
Okay.
They
I
need
mean,
a
that's cool.
residency.
They absolutely need somebody. They need a Shawn Michaels for Ring of Honor.
They have the people down there. They have the people to do it. They just need, and I know Tony's trying to save some money on taping the Ring of Honor show when he's already renting the building for his
Collision,
AEW. Yeah. But residency in Orlando, when Ring of Honor ran that couple months out of Orlando, the crowd looked like an old school Ring of Honor.
Like the Asylum for TNA. Where they put the same 1,000 butts in seats every week because they were rabid fans who wanted to be there.
Yeah, and that's what made Ring of Honor so special, is because it was a tight-knit fan base. It was a small area. The hardcore fans showed up. And you can get that back because there still are. Hell, I'm one of those that love the old Ring of Honor. I think Tony Khan has shit the bed with it.
Agreed.
The only good thing going with Ring of Honor right now is Athena and Billy Starks.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only good thing they got going for them.
Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley seem to say goodbye to the indie scene after wrestling each other at Prestige Wrestling show last weekend, which prompted renewed speculation about the Motor City Machine Gun's future. Wrestling Observer Radio's Dave Meltzer said that they're going to AEW or WWE probably pretty soon, but did point out that the Music City Machine Guns still have an August 18th indie booking in Canada. The talk within wrestling is that WWE made the best offer to them, and it's believed that's where they will be signing.
They've done everything else, chase the bag.
Yeah, like at this point, man, just make that money for your kids' futures.
Yep.
Like at the end of the day, I know wrestling fans are all like, "Oh, WWE's going to ruin them, and WWE's going to blah blah blah, and AEW will ruin them." At the end of the day, man, these guys are just trying to, like, you have like what they call a bump card.
Yeah,
you have that, man, and it's at the end of the day, once you retire, unless you have like these Legends contracts and other stuff, your money kind of runs out. That's your job. So fuck yeah, make that bag, dude. Support your family and set them up. I'm all for it.
Oh yeah.
No, I agree. AEW Vice President of Content Development, Jen Pepperman, has been praised for helping the company's male and female stars with their promos, according to Wrestling Observer Newsletter. Her work with Will Ospreay and Mark Briscoe was singled out in addition to Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker segments.
Repeat that one more time.
Jen Pepperface has been helping people with their promos.
Oh, Jen Pepperface.
That's not her name.
Jen Pepperman. I mean, it's cool. She's doing. This goes back to the video that started all the ruckus for Pissed Off for Greatness, Wendy Peppercorn. That's right, Matt. That's exactly how you say her name. This goes back to the video at the beginning for all the Pissed Off for Greatness stuff, is because he talks about in his video that started all this ruckus that WWE and AEW were bringing new people in. WWE brought in people from Marvel, and when they replaced those people, the people left WWE and went to AEW. What they're doing now is incorporating things that worked well for WWE in AEW. That's why there was such a drastic change in presentation with Dynamite after January, because Mike Manzini started, who was he is the Nick, what was his name? Kevin Dunn in WWE. He was Kevin Dunn's heir apparent, and he left to go to AEW. Kevin Dunn got booted because he was a VKM guy, and now they replaced him. both companies are going through some drastic changes as far as production go.
Former
Go ahead, Bo.
no, go.
I like the way they set up this week's AEW stage. It looked different. It looked like new. Just book smaller arenas.
Oh yeah.
Former WOW tag teams, the tag team champs, the Tongan Twins, shared on X that they visited the WWE Performance Center this week. It is unknown if they, who exited WOW in May, it's unknown if, I can't read my own fucking writing. It's unknown if
Tahine and Talavao
there you go,
Tonga.
who exited WOW in May and say they were released after complaining to management about a male staffer's behavior or signing with WWE. So I'm curious if Lord Phil Brooks will allow them to be there when they have beef with his wife.
Well, they did not leave WoW on the greatest of terms. And the moment they left, they immediately went to Twitter and their social medias and were playing the victim and like, oh, I don't understand what they're talking about. We loved it there, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, oh, okay.
Danny Meltzer said WWE is planning to book the Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker at SummerSlam on August 3rd.
Do we need Breaker versus Zayn again?
No,
Is that where they finally decide to put the belt on him?
I suppose.
Punk has no say in WWE.
It was a joke. Regarding Tony Khan's ongoing negotiations for a new TV deal with Warner Brothers Discovery, Meltzer concluded that AEW would probably do well to start talking to other people because we're at that point now. This is at least partially related to Warner Brothers' announcement of nearly 1,000 layoffs over the next week. Do you think that they need to start looking for other networks?
I think they need to bite the bullet and accept they're going to streaming.
Right, but do you feel like Warner Brothers can still give them a deal since they're laying off 1,000 people?
I read that article, and Bo, I don't mean to monopolize. Can I add something pissed off for greatness, even though we're past it? Kids need to go back to school immediately. That includes my kids too. And love you, Dad Hat. It's already started appearing on Max in Europe. AEW should do an NWA Coke spot, says Smanix. Where are we? The TV deal. The 1,000 layoffs that were made, Warner Brothers are making those layoffs specifically to keep their TV deals afloat. So they're laying off these thousands of people specifically so they can make a bid for the NBA deal, so they can keep AEW on cable, so they can do a lot of these things. Warner Brothers, you have to remember, this is the same company who 2 years ago or 18 months ago were discussing possibilities of filing for bankruptcy because they had to recoup so many losses from their television and movie productions. So, like, this isn't just because of AEW that they're laying off. They're laying off thousands of people because they have to recoup the money to keep the TV deals they already have, because they know if they lose the NBA, they lose AEW, then all they do is just show reruns of the Big Bang Theory and Fast and the Furious movies.
It worked for MTV with ridiculousness.
Mm-hmm.
They stuck around and all they did was show Rob Dyrdek shit.
According to Fightful Select, Sammy Guevara's return to AEW television has been discussed in recent weeks.
Fun.
PW Insider confirmed that work is already underway for the next season of Dark Side of the Ring. Some of the potential subjects being discussed include Ludwig Borga, Dennis
Poraluza.
Thank you, and Billy Jack Haynes.
those are three names that I wouldn't have suspected. So that could be good or bad. They're not necessarily just because I don't necessarily think of a story that involves those people, but yeah.
This last season, I felt like wasn't as much like dark side as terrible things that happened to wrestlers.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like because of wrestling. It was just like life shit.
Yeah, like, oh man, he got
sat through
cancer and died.
We sat through a Buff Bagwell basically shitting his career up and then his overcoming back to grace kind of thing. Like it wasn't what I believe Dark Side was created and geared to be. Like it's not dark.
Right.
Bree's long love for Tatanka and Ludwig destroying the streak.
Sources told WrestleVotes that Seth Rollins is currently planned to be the special referee for the CM Punk Drew McIntyre match at SummerSlam. It is expected that Punk will be medically cleared by Monday, July 29th.
I would rather see Rollins wrestle at SummerSlam, but having him be involved in that match would still be fun. It's essentially going to be a triple threat match if that's the case, I have a feeling.
Yeah. Fightful Select confirmed that former New Japan wrestler Hikuleo has reached an agreement to join WWE. I feel like he's going to be on Roman's side.
I hope so. But what do you think about Hikuleo?
Tall as shit.
Yeah, he's big. He's a big boy. Big son of a bitch.
He's a tall boy. I don't really see. I hope he's on Roman's side as well. I really don't see where he fits in right now into this bloodline.
He would have to be on the other side, right?
Almost, yeah, like almost like the equalizer to God. Like he knows them. It's their brother.
And for it to make sense with it being those four, God, Jacob, and Solo, you would need Roman, the Usos, and one more person. So Hikuleo would make sense. And I know people are going to go, but War Games is 5-on-5. War Games has been 5-on-5 and 4-on-4 and 3 teams of 3 and 3 teams of 4. Like there's been lots of variations on the War Games match. But I don't necessarily see them trying to make Sammy fit back into that story. Yes, Zilla Fatu's Superman Samoan Spike finisher is awesome. And Zilla is still floating out there, but he's also said recently in a bunch of interviews on TikTok and shit that he is green as grass and he's still got a lot of coming up before he's going to be ready to step through that curtain on the main roster. And if the man's saying that himself, and I've heard it come out of his mouth, I've got no reason to believe otherwise. So, but Zilla is out there and he will be in WWE at one point. That is definitely his goal. He's just like, it's not the time yet.
He took a hell of a black hole slam from Sam Stackhouse this weekend.
Yeah, he did. They got rocked. GCW was fucking fire shows all weekend. He's learning quick, though, and you're fucking right, he is, Mannix. And that's what makes him dangerous is he could be the quickest up because he's younger than Solo, and he's already, like, people are discussing when and not if he goes to WWE. And I think that's the biggest difference between him and Solo is Solo, it was if. And now with Zilla, it's just a matter of when he gets there.
Yeah. I mean, like, we know that Hikuleo is going to be involved somewhere with the bloodline because WWE and most wrestling promotions have the same problem. If it looks the same, it goes together.
Yep. 100%. WWE did it. We got Legato and we got LWO.
Yeah. We have the Kabuki Warriors, like, with Asuka, like
then the Damage Control, and it was like they have a history of doing it. Go listen to Young Kings Wrestling. They specifically talked about WWE and Triple H's handling people of color in WWE's booking. They had a lot of really great things to say about it. So as 3 people that look like us for a better versed approach to that opinion, check out Young Kings Wrestling for sure.
Per PW Insider, it's likely that Jeff Hardy was unable to enter Canada due to his past issues. That's probably why he did a stretcher job this week in TNA and wasn't at Slammiversary.
Thank you off the top for the subscription. I'm here for it. Like, it's